How long does it take to build a business? Well, that's up to you. If it's up to me, I'm going to be making revenue by day one to week one. So I do it very differently because I actually test the market first, and then I build something, people pay me, then we move. So I'm going to teach you the do not move without money at the end of the video. Do not move. And what are the strategies to actually, I'd say, almost guarantee your success? Because you go from the market to the product. You don't say, I'm going to build a product and hope to God there's going to be a market for it. You've got to reverse engineer it. The few things I'm going to talk about is what are the components of a comprehensive business plan? You've got to have a plan, and it's going to have to be a very agile plan in the beginning if you've never planned before. Ideally, plans are built on a lot of historical data, but if you don't have any, then I'll give you some clues on where to go find that data. The second thing I want to talk about is just the need for financial and business literacy. I mean, my son just got a finance business degree and a master's of accounting. Still to this day would say, I never learned anything that you teach in your books or how you teach people to be entrepreneurs and actually successful. The last thing I want to talk about, which is not last because it's like down the food chain, is your team. How do you hire a team? How do you qualify? Just the critical role of building the right team and when. If I had to look back at the two probably biggest costly mistakes I have ever made during my career would be not hiring the right critical roles fast enough. And then the other is not being sure that the databases are backed up and that you got a database that is completely comprehensive. So grab a pen and paper. This is a big one. So the real first question, if how long does it take to build a business, is how long do you want before you get to some revenue? So again, I teach a marketplace where we're going to get you revenue today. Now, is that going to be the end all be all and the whole plan? No, but it gives you a place to test and focus group a market. So in the description below, go grab 2 tickets to that intensive where we have a 3-hour marketplace at least once a month where you get to come, get leads, make sales, you keep it all. It's not an affiliate program. You get to show up and just rock it and make sure that what you have is going to be sold to a market. If you cannot pre-sell in my marketplace, I say your product's not quite ready, or you just are really a green entrepreneur who's never really tested a market. Let's get to the critical components of a business plan. I'm actually going to read them to you because there are so many in order of how I believe you need to do it. In crafting a comprehensive business plan, number one, what is the type of business? And again, not just going to be bringing to market a product that you think people need. I need you to go to the market first. There is so much on social media, the way that we're marketing these days, where you could ask the market, like I would say, I'm an expert in money. What do you want to hear about from me? Do you want to hear about how I became a real estate millionaire, supplements millionaire, recycled glass millionaire, how I became a 6-time best-selling author? What do you want to know from me about how to build a business and what are the key pieces? So what kind of business is it? What type of business? And in that, the other way that I frame that is what problem are you solving? What is the problem you're solving in the business that you're going to build products and services around? Because you're going to want both in a very comprehensive plan. The next thing is your vision statement. Now, for some of you, you can skip over this for a little while as well as the mission statement, but in description, a vision statement defines your big, hairy, audacious goals, and again, the problems it's aiming to solve. Your vision may or may never be done in your lifetime. The vision of integrated wealth systems is to change the conversation about money. To understanding corporate life should be the leading narrative, in my opinion, about money and business. It's not. Go to school, get a job, work for the rest of your life and work hard is the current narrative, and stay out of debt. None of that is going to work towards high success. A mission statement then describes how you're going to achieve the vision. It's the steps within it. So you're going to need a mission and vision. And I want to speak to those of you who are employed or you're just wanting a big transition. You may just say, I want to quit my job. Like, I don't have a big vision or mission about what I really want to do. I want to just quit my job. I want to replace my income. So then just park the mission and vision over to the side for a moment. We can get back to that in 6 months to a year, but I do need to know who's your audience, what's the problem you're solving, and you've actually tested it with the market. Then the next thing, you actually have to get your marketing plan, which is what I'm asking you to do to get a focus group. You need a very developed marketing plan. The job of marketing, which I believe marketing is the answer to everything, job of marketing is for you to generate leads, new qualified leads into your database on a regular basis. Now, if you don't have just a basic landing page and database, I want you to go to askrms.com. It's in the description below. RMS stands for Rapid Marketing Systems, because you've got to get the engine that's going to drive this built in right away, which is as you ask the questions to social media, you take those interests and those answers and you put them into your database. So you start building that list of leads, people interested in what you're doing. Then the next thing you need is a very, very sophisticated and specialized sales training and sales plan. And I would love to be your mentor and coach if you don't know how to create one of those. Of how do you then take those leads that marketing generated for you? Like on average, we're producing between 2,500 and 3,000 new leads a month. What is our sales plan then to take you through our funnel, ladder ascension, experience ascension, however you want to speak to it? So typically people will start with buying my book. Then what do they do after that? Then what do they do? And so we have it very, very choreographed on what it takes to be a millionaire by the experiences we, in order and in sequence, put you in. So a marketing process and a sales process really drives your business. Now, what's next after that? You need a financial plan and an accounting system and an accounting team. Do not think you're going to do your own taxes. You need to get incorporated. There's no way you're going to build a company if you're 18 and older without some corporate structure around it, because you can't activate 81,000 pages of tax code. The only reason I see so many people not get incorporated, stay as sole proprietors, you have really bad advice from your CPA, really bad advice, because you can't activate the tax code, or you're just playing on the cheap hoping your idea is going to make it. If you know your idea is going to make it and this is what you want to do, then you got to be a decided all in life. Like you got to be committed to doing it, which means go all in, get the right licenses, get incorporated, get the right team, get the right mentor, and actually build your plan together. I love building these, by the way. In fact, I have a 4-hour business plan product. It's super cool. It's called Building, Leading, Protecting Your Business. It's me giving a narrative for 4 hours about each of these components and how do you build them. You need an operational plan. Notice the sequence. You're going to get the lead, you're going to sell the lead, you're going to count the money, then fulfill. It is critical you actually build a business in that order. Most people build it out of order. They build the product and say, now who wants to buy it? And you've spent tons of money on a product and zero pre-sales and zero market testing. Completely backwards. It's what you're taught in traditional schools though. So unfortunately, a lot of you entrepreneurs, and small businesses don't make it because really you're out of sequence and you're out of order without any mentoring. It's not because your idea was bad or the problem you want to solve doesn't need solved. It's just the way you're going to do it's not going to work because you're not entrepreneurial enough. So once you have that operational plan, it's supplemented by the strategies and tactics, which are your product and service funnel. And the way, again, I describe it is if I'm going to make you a millionaire, what are the steps you need to go to? What's the education, the consumption of learning, the master classes? Where do you need to be in my system to help you become that millionaire? Then the next part of a comprehensive plan is the management team. And again, a team is not last because I'm putting it there, but you do have to have a management team. If you're going to raise capital or you're going to really go to a big market, the resumes and the bios of those people is critical to you. And then do due diligence. Due diligence into the industry. How big is the market? How much money is being spent on, say, supplements? How much money is being spent on financial education in my situation? How much do people spend to learn to be a millionaire? How much do they spend on their tuition? So for you, it's how much do people spend on nails, hair, food, like whatever your product or service is, how much does the market spend? And where did they spend and why do they spend? And then staying really current on the marketing trends of most of the world is marketing out here on social media. But if you're not pulling your followers into a database, you're not monetizing. So I know that's a lot, but having a plan and that clarity of what are you doing, what's the problem you're solving, how do people reach the solution, how do they reach the result? See, your confidence as a business owner is going to come with evidence. Evidence meaning I've created thousands of millionaires, so I have a lot of evidence, right? It also comes from buying and flipping companies, right? Some work, some didn't work. More work than not. Thank God the math equation works. For a lot of you haven't even started because you don't know where, because you're not entrepreneurial trained. Business plan's number one. Second thing, absolutely critical. Absolutely critical is the importance of financial and business literacy as an entrepreneur. So there are 3 skill sets not taught in any traditional business program, including MBAs, which I call massive bad attitudes, because I want you to have a massive bank account. You have got to know entrepreneurial marketing, sales, and cash flow. And those 3 are not taught. They are taught from a perspective of if you have a job, how could you be the marketer? And even then, it's not even the most digital, up-to-date stuff that's being taught in schools right now. Sales isn't even being taught. I don't even know that you could take a college university class on how to sell. I learned how to sell by coming to people like me who were gurus in the sales industry. I learned from probably 4 or 5 extraordinary top sales trainers in the world. By the time I kind of got done figuring out how to sell and really refining it to the point where I could close, and I have some of the top closing ratios in the world for women, I hired a lot of people. I probably spent $1 million learning how to sell my educational products and services. services? How do you sell books? How do you sell packages? How do you launch? How do you do any of this? So financial literacy and business literacy, again, marketing, sales, and cash flow. So if you're sitting over there and saying, like Michael Gerber said in the E-Myth, you're the best pie maker, but you're not a good entrepreneur, guess who better be the first person on your team? Is somebody that's opposite of you. I say the worst thing you could do when you're building a team is hire people that are just like you. So if you hire in your like kind, they all want to be the owner. You don't want to hire an owner. Like, I can guarantee you, no one wants my job, my relationships, my role inside this company. They're specialists. They have their own companies. Their companies work for my company. And together we're growing their financial literacy, their business literacy. So they're growing their companies, which then in turn grows mine. So a lot of you misstep on the management teams and the teams alone. So we'll come to that next. Before we do that, I want you here 5 days a week. I want you to subscribe to my channel, click that notification button. And when that notification comes on your phone, you're actually going to go watch the video every day. I'm asking for 8 to 12 minutes of your life, you and your family. So whether you do it at breakfast, you do it at the dinner table, or you do it on a weekend, you need to start including financial and business literacy, which runs the world, in your conversations at home. It is up to you, parents, to bring this conversation to your household. Say, did you watch Loral's channel today? Did you watch the Millionaire Makers channel? However you want to refer to it. What did you learn? What are you going to do different? What's your understanding of it? So just through that narrative, yeah, you're just going to be learning together, but at least it's a family initiative. So you're doing this on behalf of creating financial and legacy families later. Back to our third, and I would say it's as critical, because it's one of my biggest mistakes, is not hiring fast enough and not hiring the right people. So you do not want to hire in your like kind. Like I said, you want to hire opposite skill sets that you need. So if you're not the marketer, you're not that person, then you need to hire marketing. So we literally, for $297 a month, will just do it for you, because most of you don't know how to do it. And you need to be focused on your messaging, your content, ideally getting little ebooks and reports out. A lot of you that have products, you need to put education around the product. Why do the product? And you think, well, why would people buy that? They do. People buy information, education all the time. So how do you break it down? How do you do it distinctively different? I call them distinctions. So I have huge distinctions in my work. I'm the how-to girl. I'm going to go down to your bank account, your credit cards, every little nitty-gritty thing you spend your money on. And we're going to talk about who should be buying it. Should it be a company or you? Which company should be doing it? We're going to get down to the grassroots of your financial foundation, then build you up from there. So on your team, you're going to need, back to the business plan, you're going to need marketing experts. You're going to need sales, which, by the way, if you can't sell your own product and service, how do you expect anyone else to do it? You have to create the narrative of that, the benefit of that product or service. You're going to have a bookkeeper or understand cash flow for sure. I have these beautiful cash flow forms all my folks in the big table can use, which are the ones I get every day. They're dashboard ready. You're going to have the operations. So for some of you, you're really good at the thing. You're good at the engineering. You're good at the teaching. You're good at the whatever the thing is, at the cooking, catering, but you're not really the marketing and sales person. Guess what the first thing you're going to give up is? Fulfilling. And a lot of you say, I don't want to. I'm the best at the blah, blah, blah. I know. But your job, if you're going to run and build the business and own the company, is to drive revenue. So that means you're driving marketing, you're driving sales, and you're leading your team. Those are what my jobs are here. It will become your job. And you'll give up fulfillment and you'll say, but nobody can do it better than me. It's good enough. It's 80%. And there's a whole book written about 80% is good enough to get the same result, as long as you really do some good training. How do you recruit and retrain and continue the retention of an employee? It's constant relationships. I love Tom Ziegler. He calls it being a coach leader. So not being the dominant, we tell them what to do. It's what do they want? What are their dreams? What are their aspirations? What do they want? And how can their company or their role with you help support your company? So they get what they want, you get what you want, and it all works. So building a team is imperative, and the sooner you start building, the better. Now, I want to speak to you single parents or you people who think you could just work at home and not get a lot of team. Some of the first things, it was one of the first things I did, is I actually hired home care. So as a single mom, 1999, I knew I'd be a single mom. I started getting home care right away during my pregnancy, so I was used to it and having somebody in my house supporting me. And then when my son was born, then she was there to continue on. So a lot of you, you've got to get home help. You don't need to go grocery store shopping. You don't need to go shopping at all, quite frankly. You have a personal shopper do it for you. You don't need to clean your house. You don't need to know where your vacuum is. You don't need to go buy cleaning supplies. Someone else can do all those tasks. So you are essentially buying back your time. Your time is the most valuable thing that you could ever bill out. And I'm a huge fan of trading some time. And a lot of you say, well, that's the worst advice. If it's the only thing you do, it is. It is the easiest thing for you to do, for any of you to make $25,000, $50,000 on a weekend by selling a retreat for the weekend or a group group activity for the weekend. You all can do it. You're just not trained. So when you're employee trained your whole life, it doesn't occur to you to say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, learn to market, sell, understand cash flow, and drive a business. You can all build a business. How long it takes? I could start a business in an hour. I could be in revenue in 2 or 3 hours. Is it the whole funnel? Is it everything I want? No, but it's tested enough ideas that I know it's going to work. Then you can put a lot of your energy and resources around it. A lot of you do it the other way around. You spend time in a corner building something and you don't ask the market, what did it want? And you're going to know, for those of you who go up, you come to market and you fail, it's because you didn't do enough focus groups, you didn't do enough testing, and you didn't know what they wanted to buy exactly. So it was your interpretation, not what they wanted. So I have a lot to say about this, and in the description, I have 2 tickets to an intensive that I do once a month, which will teach you how to get a business up in less than 1 day and make money in that day. And if you're out there and you're a naysayer and say, there's no way, well, there's probably no way you want to do anything in your life. But if you really want to understand and you want to get open and say, yes, I really want to understand this, grab those 2 tickets. I'll see you at the next intensive. If you have any questions between now and then, call our office or go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL. Ask a question, make a request. I'll be back here tomorrow.